Hello, Year 4 Aslam class. Welcome to your English video for Thursday, the 4th of February. Sorry, get my days mixed up. Okay, this week we've been looking at non-chronological text writing. You did a box up earlier on in the week. You then moved on to, from doing your box up, you moved on to doing your started writing your introduction that we did together. And then we looked yesterday at writing our first paragraph together. Now, my paragraph that I did with you is not about Mrs. Bowen. Your work is about Mrs. Bowen. I'm just modeling for you something different because I don't want you to be copying all of my ideas. I want you to be able to think for yourself. Today, we're looking at how we edit our work to make improvements. So let's go to our slideshow. Here we are. Oh, that's Wednesday. We want Thursday. We did this work yesterday. Okay, let's have a look then, shall we? So today's work, we are going to be, can you edit your writing and make it even better, make improvements? So when we write something down, it's really important that other people understand it. We don't want that. So if you've made mistakes with your work, it can be very hard for other people to read and understand what you're doing. So when we do our work, we need to make sure that we reread and proofread our work to make sure that it makes sense. So that when somebody else is reading it, they're not going to be wondering what words were used here and this, that, and the other. So that's why it's important that we edit our work. Now, we're going to play we've got some sentences here, and what you need to do is, can you add words in so that it makes sense? Because some words have been missed out. So let's start. I'm going to move myself over here. Last week, I went, last week, I to the park. What are we missing here? That's correct. We're missing a verb. Last week, I to the park. There's no verb in this sentence, so we know that we need to edit it and make it make sense. So last week, I went to the park. We've used past tense word there because we're talking about something that happened last week. Very good. And there we are, going to the park. Our next one to do. Now, in this one, there may be a spelling mistake. So can you spot the spelling mistakes and then can you correct them? I'll give you a bit of time to write that down. You can pause the video and then unpause once you've done. Okay, let's have a look, shall we? They like going to the seaside. That's how it reads. Let's actually have a look to see what it should be. They is spelt with an E, not an A, and going, we get rid of the W here. So we can see here now, they like going to the seaside. Children are there playing by the sea. Grammatical mistakes can also come into our work. When we're writing, we may choose the wrong word or the wrong tense. So let's have a look at the mistake that's been made in this sentence. They was having a good time. What is the mistake? Rewrite it, please, or just write them as the correct word. Okay, now, when you talk about a group of people, we don't say they was, that's singular. I was, okay, that's what we say. But when you're talking about somebody else or a group of people, it's were. So we say they were having a good time. What were they having a good time doing? Having a good time in the snow, sledding away and throwing snowballs at each other. Excellent. Sometimes there can be even more grammatical mistakes. So let's have a read of this one. I thought there was a full carton of milk in the fridge. Sounds all right when we read it, but there is a mistake there. Can you spot it? And this is a spelling mistake as well as a grammatical mistake. Good. You should have noticed that we've got the word there as a homo. That's a homophone, and however we spelled the wrong one. We've got the wrong one in there. It should be T-H-E-R-E. When we say like, look over there, that's the one we use. This there is if something belongs to them. So if I said I thought that was their drink, that's when we would use that one because that means belonging. And there's our carton of milk. So that's what we do. So each of these sentences has a mistake in them. Can you spot it? Have a go yourself. So pause the video and then we'll see how well you've done. Okay, welcome back. We're going to go through this, and I'm just going to add the corrections in, if it lets me. And I can use my pen here. I'm going to use a green pen. So when here, we shouldn't be spelling it like this. It should be spelled W, capital W, sorry, H-E-N. I went to the farm. I saw a horse. We don't write horse like this in for the animal. It's H-O-R-S-E. Now, she goed to the shops. We don't say goed. That's not a proper word. We use the word went to the shops to butt some sweets. To butt? You butt sweets? No, of course not. You buy them. So we've got a spelling mistake here. So we write buy. It was sunny at beach. What are we missing here? We're missing a determiner. Sometimes we can add a little arrow underneath and write what it is. So at the beach. The car was red. It went very fast. So red should be spelled like that. We need a full stop there. That should be a capital letter. It went very fast. So well done if you got all of them right. Okay, today we're going to be editing out our non-chronological report for what we did yesterday. Now, remember the editing skills we looked at previously when we were looking at our instructional writing. These are things we need to look at. When we proofread, have a look at the punctuation. Make sure your sentences are marked correctly with full stops, question marks, exclamation marks. Very, very important that you do that. We also think about word classes. Have we chosen the right words with the right tenses? Could we choose a different word to make it a little bit more exciting? And just remember, you don't have to improve absolutely everything. Some things will be absolutely fine. So when we edit, we have a look at our punctuation first. Have a look at capital letters in the right places. Full stops, question marks. Make sure that's all there. The editing station, spellings. We then have to have a look at spellings. Make sure your spellings are correct. If you see a word you're not too sure, get a dictionary. You can use an online dictionary. And then also you need to think about the word choices that you move. Are there any words that you could choose that are better? Or have you missed something out that you want to add? Put it in. So let's read through our non-chronological report that we completed yesterday. Now, this is the one that I did yesterday, and we're going to read through it, and I'm going to make corrections. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to see if I've got all my punctuation in the right place first. So Fulham are a football team that play in London. Okay, so punctuation first. There is no full stop here, so I need to put in a full stop. So in it goes. They have played in this city since 1885, making them the oldest club in London. They are close to another team called Chelsea, and when they play each other, it is called a London derby. I haven't got a full stop at the end there, so I'm going to put a full stop there. I'm then going to go back and have a look at capital letters. Fulham are a football team that play in London. Now, London is a proper noun, so we need to make that into a capital L. They have played in this city since they make them the oldest club in London. They are close to another team called Chelsea. Chelsea is the name of a football team, so that needs to be corrected, and we need to make that into a capital C. And when they play each other, it is called a London derby. Okay, that's capital letters and full stops done. I'm now going to move on to spelling. Now, this doesn't look right because this is supposed to say Fulham, and it says Fulham. So I know that this A shouldn't be here, so I can just cross that out. Our football team that play in London. They have played in this city since 1885, making. Now, I know I need an I there because the suffix ing. So I'm literally going to do a little arrow at the bottom, and then I'm going to put my I where it should be. The oldest club. Club, this is spelt with a C. So we can cross that out and we can put a C there. In London. And I know that in London, that doesn't look quite right. London, that should be an O in there. They are close to another team. Does that look right? Not to me. So that should not be an U. That should be an O, called Chelsea. And when, okay, I've missed out. This is a common one that a lot of you make. That should be an H. When they play needs an A. Look at these spelling mistakes. Each other. Now I'm going to cross this whole word out because I've made quite a few spelling mistakes there. Other is spelled O-T-H-E-R. And we cross the T. It is called a London derby. Okay, so now I've edited it by proofreading and I've made spelling corrections. I've inputted my punctuation that wasn't there and corrected capital letters. Can I improve it even more? Yeah, maybe I can. Fulham are a football team. What kind of football team are they? Fulham are a, let's put in a word here, up here, a brilliant football team. They play in London. They have played in this, okay, what kind of city is it? In this, it's an old city. Let's put ancient. May not be the correct word choice, but we can come back to that. Since 18 the oldest club in London. They are close to another team called Chelsea. And when they play each other, it is called a London derby. So there you can see I haven't jazzed up all my words. I've just maybe done one or two. So that's how you would edit in your work. So what you're going to do today is you're going to have a look at this paragraph below. All right. And what you need to do, you need to rewrite this paragraph out, making the corrections as you go along. Then for task number 2, you need to make sure that you are, task number 2, you edit your writing, what you've done yesterday, with a different color so that you can see what changes you've made. And then if you've got time, you can write the final part of the non-chronological report, but only if you've got time. Remember, these lessons are designed for an hour. So if you want to keep this screen up, pause it on the video so you can do this activity. And then if you've got time, edit your work from yesterday. And if you've still got time or you want to push yourself even further, just rewrite the final non-chronological report in neat. But remember, you only have an hour to do this in. So don't worry if you don't get everything done. Okay, that's the video over. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.